it's thrilling that we can actually sit together and enjoy one of his films. Tonight, we're going to watch his very first film. This is Skate Town, USA. Woo, here we go. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the man today. He was born on August 18th, 1952. Sadly, he passed away on September 14th, 2009. Patrick Swayze was 57 years old. He started off getting a role as Prince Charming in the Disney Parade, of all things. He then became Danny Zuko on Broadway in Grease. This got him the attention of the producers of Skate Town, USA, knowing that he could dance, and ended up in Skate Town, USA. That was his theatrical performance, his debut. Does anybody know what TV show he appeared on to make his TV debut? He played a soldier on MASH.
Oh.
Yeah. This it's a very memorable episode. His buddy is wounded. They're the same blood type. Then Hawkeye runs the. Okay. Thanks, Cameron. And Hawkeye runs the blood type. Turns out he has leukemia. It would be 8 years until he would be in Dirty Dancing. So think about his career launching from 1979 all the way to 1987, when he would become America's heartthrob and the blockbuster star that would go on to be in Ghost. As this thing is going, I'm going to get on the stage. You guys enjoy the thrill ride that is Skate Town, USA.
Woo!
Hello.
All right, it is a rare Saturday night when we are both off of work.
I know, right?
Or wrestling or whatever you're
Well,
doing.
I had wrestling today. It's just then it finished and I had time.
Oh, actually, no, it's Wednesday.
Oh, it will be.
It's totally Wednesday when we're doing this. Wink. Yeah, so we are in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. I worked my part-time job until 8 o'clock today, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the Colonial and see Skate Town, USA.
Hell yeah.
And then you were like, what are you watching tonight? And I was just like, Skate Town, USA. And you're like, oh, I'll come join you.
So the factory, we had a birthday party this morning, so I rolled up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we had a show, like our monthly Saturday show. And so I stuck around for that. And by the time we were done cleaning and like I hung out with people for a bit, I was leaving. It was like 8 o'clock. I got gas. And it's like kind of close to 9. And I was like, I got a notification that was like, hey, you've got a thing. And it was like, Newt's going to see this movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh, is he? Hey, what is this thing?
I was like, Skate Town, USA?
Yeah. So now we watch Skate Town USA.
Yeah, I asked the dude, the Bob, who's the coordinator for the theater, I was like, what time is the movie starting? He's like, why? I was like, well, because my friend's coming. He's like, I gotta push it back for a couple minutes. I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Did you really?
Yeah, so, you know.
I'm so flattered.
Yeah, so Skate Town USA is,
it's a fever dream.
It's a fever dream.
I'm on, like, 2 hours of sleep, so I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and, like, think that I dreamt it. Like, I'm gonna be like, that wasn't real. I didn't watch that movie.
So they played it tonight because it's St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
This was Patrick Swayze's first theatrical film. This is the second time I've ever seen this movie on the big screen.
Okay.
So when I lived in Arizona, my ex-girlfriend and I got into a big fight, and she kicked me out, so I moved back to Philadelphia. And
that's drastic.
Yeah, and on Christmas, no less.
God.
You know how fucking expensive it was to get a flight from Phoenix to Philadelphia on Christmas? Jesus Christ. So I was like, all right, bye. So I came back here, and the first event I got taken to was in Philly at the on Chestnut Street, they did the a Lost Film Festival, and it was like it was sort of Dracula, which I have the poster for in my living room, you know, shit like that. And this movie, I just was like, what a bizarre cacophony of things. It's Patrick Swayze, Marie McCormick, who was Marsha Brady, fucking Horshack from Welcome Back, Kotter, Scott Baio back before he was a right-wing psychopath,
Right, I remember
Billy
him.
Barty, the little person, Flip Wilson, fucking the teacher from, I was telling you, I was like, well, that's the teacher from Carrie, who was also in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but he was also in the bowling episode of
X-Files.
X-Files.
Yeah.
He always plays like mentally challenged people or whatever. He was Ruth Buzzy's husband in this one. The unknown comic was in it from the Gong Show. Like, this is the most late 1970s movie you can ever possibly imagine.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, and it just made me go like, fuck. Like, did you go roller skating when you were a kid?
Sort of. I had rollerblades, and I used to just go in circles around my backyard.
Okay. On the
singing.
grass?
No, we had like pavers around the pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you never like went to like a skating rink?
No, that would require me to leave the house.
True. All right, so from
Or like maybe once or twice.
1993 to 1997, I pretty much was at the Marlton skating rink every Friday night.
Hell yeah.
We were just there fucking hanging out on quads because it was before roller blades. And I fucking, some of my favorite experiences ever were roller skating.
That's awesome.
We used to have roller skating parties when we were kids and stuff like that. And then after the skating rink closed down, a dude who looked like Urkel, not the Urkel that worked with us, Urkel, like actual Steve Urkel, took it over as like, oh, I'm gonna rent it out to do like private hockey sessions on like Tuesday nights. So myself, this guy Chris Seiler, I used to be friends with, his cousin who was our goalie and stuff like that, we would rent the roller skating rink out, and we would do private hockey stuff there in like middle school, at the end of middle school and in high school and stuff like that. And then they demolished it. And I was so fucking bummed because I love that place so much, the Marlton skating rink. But when I think of skating is when I first met the redhead. She was the mascot for the Deptford skating rink. So she was her on skates in a kangaroo costume. So the first time I went to go see her at her job, like,
she's a
kangaroo, and like little kids were just like fucking wailing on her. And now I think about that and I go, good.
Right? Oh my god, a little kid tried to beat me up today because of the birthday party. You know, we're all wrestlers, so
should have paralyzed him.
No, he like did a drive-by. He fucking played dirty. He'd run past me, just boom, you know, and then like come back around and boom. And I'm like, I can't do anything about this. Like, it didn't hurt, obviously.
You should have.
No, what the fuck was I gonna do? Because if I started putting him in wrestling holds, that would feel so fucking weird.
Put him to sleep.
He was like 3 to 5.
Oh, well.
Like, I couldn't do that. So I just said he was playing dirty as he kept running past and punching me. And then his friends started doing it. I was like, great, now I'm getting beat up by 2 like 5-year-olds.
And nobody's looking and just fucking snap his neck.
No!
Next person you do dirty better have a ramp.
That's funny. That's real funny. Though.
I was the only one small enough to fit in costumes back when I was at Regal.
I saw where this was.
And Looney Tunes Back in Action was out, and they needed somebody to be in the Tweety Bird costume. Okay. So first thing you have to put on is the yellow spandex pants.
Sure.
And then the suit on top of it. That's about 100 fucking degrees outside, and we're outside. So I was the events manager at that one,
and also Tweety Bird
as well. Oh, because we were doing one of the things we had to, the Regal made you do like an event book, and in that event book you had to do like, oh, it's set up like, oh, it's fun and there's balloons and it's painted or whatever, but you also have to do something for the community. So what I did was I did a car seat checkpoint thing, where like you would bring your car up and the police could go like, oh, okay, it's you know, and that got us like a community thing.
Right.
But so it's about 110 degrees. I'm trying to talk to the police to coordinate the parking lot while dressed as Tweety Bird.
You couldn't take off the header?
No, because it's all one piece.
Oh.
You know, I taught.
Yeah. Oh,
but yeah, so some little kid was in line at the thing, and there was a Sylvester and there's a Tweety Bird, and we're going by and we're giving out like little mini posters. This little kid fucking turned around. He rocked me so hard in the nuts that I thought I had 3 Adam's apples.
oh my god.
And then there was another time. Oh fuck, I don't remember what the movie was, but I had to wear this like head thing, and some little kid just fucking squared up and rapped me on the Jack Johnson. And I was like, I did not expect that at all.
All right.
That has nothing to do with roller skating.
I'm sorry. I just was attacked by a small child.
Yeah,
today.
no, I love roller skating. This movie is set at Skate Town, USA, where they have a wizard
the
DJ
wizard.
Who
he looks like that one psychic. What the fuck was that guy's name? Hold on.
He sort of looked like
Hold on.
Because to me he sort of looked like Vincent Price's Dr. Phibes a little bit.
There's a guy
with the big afro
and oh my god, I literally just looked this guy up because he shows up in WCW.
Okay.
And I don't understand why. Oh my god, where is it? I'm sorry.
But this movie... So
you keep going.
Yeah.
I will...
So this movie was clearly shot on, like, hiatus from, like, a lot of TV shows. Because a lot of TV actors in it. It's got a fucking killer soundtrack. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Dave Mason has 2 songs in it. Michael Jackson has
Gary
music.
Spivey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's got like a disco ball head.
Disco ball head, because it looks, his hair sort of looked like
it's the same. Look at that.
Oh yeah, they also sort of look like the helmets from Spaceballs.
Yeah,
like a little
way
bit.
Too big.
Yeah.
Look up Gary Spivey. He's a psychic. If you don't
know
who I'm talking
great
about.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
This movie was shot on the pier at oh God, where the fuck?
Oh my
was
God,
this?
they said it.
Only because I told you my story.
Oh, that's what it was. You said it. Oh my God, I'm so sleep deprived.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's shot at a pier in in LA, and it's where the AFM had their after party, and I noticed it. I was with a female friend of mine at the time, and we're in LA, and we're walking around after the event, and I was like, oh my God, this is where they shot Skate Town, USA. Yeah. And we went in there, and all that's in there now is a carousel and a bar, and there was a couple other people in there, and I snuck off into the bathroom with that person, and we totally fucked.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like, look, it's not very often I'm going to be in the place where they filmed Skate Town, USA. Yeah. Our leads are Scott Baio, being a Donald Trump psychopath, and a dude who sort of looks like Luke Skywalker, but like when Luke Skywalker got all muscly for the Power of the Force action figures, like they took the Star Wars figures and then they roided them up. And his sister is Marsha from the Brady Bunch, and they're gonna go and compete in the big skate off at Skate Town, USA, because he wants to win $1,000 and a moped and a trophy. And his sister is gonna skate with him. Yes. And his sister is Marsha. And apparently in real life she was so fucking coked out while they were making this movie that she doesn't even remember doing it. There was an interesting period of time
where the part where she was like, "Ooh, I'm on drugs," that was real actually.
Yeah, because there's all these like this whole movie. This whole movie is an excuse to just have vignettes.
Oh yes.
There's musical interludes where the movie will just stop dead to have Dave Mason come out to do "Feeling Alright."
Yeah.
Not feeling
so
good
that should
myself.
just like happen. Fuck,
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then they just vanish. I like how it's just magic.
Yeah.
So you have all these different vignettes or like little comedy beats. Like Dorothy Stratton is in the movie, and I think I was telling you about Dorothy Stratton before. So Dorothy Stratton was this. If you ever saw Galaxina, sci-fi movie, it's very funny. after she died, Jamie Lee Curtis played her in a TV movie about her life. She was a Playboy playmate. She was with this guy. He got her into Playboy, and then she became like super famous. She was with Peter Bogdanovich, and Peter Bogdanovich actually like sued to get Galaxina to come out after his movie because they thought that like it would affect his movie because it was more serious. And she became like the biggest fucking model in the world and all this kind of stuff. And then the guy who got her started like got super jealous, so he fucking blew her head off and then killed himself. Yeah.
I see.
And she's the girl who's like, where's my pizza?
Yeah.
You know, so her leaving with that old man is like way better off than she would with that guy, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah. That's... So you didn't tell me the full story while we were in the theater, or if you did, I forgot.
No, I didn't. I was waiting for the review.
Yeah, but then when you said that's better than the guy who blew her head off, I didn't know what you meant because the character clearly still had her head.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? Okay, sure, I agree with you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so she kind of pops up.
So now I have the context for that
it's
statement.
super sad, too, because she was so fucking beautiful and had her whole life ahead of her, and this dude felt like he was owed something because she became
I never
a big...
saw that behavior in guys
never,
or anything.
you know? So she's in the movie. Flip Wilson's in the movie, but also is his
Flip
female
Wilson's
character. And then,
God.
Billy Barty is his dad.
Yes.
Billy Barty is
Billy Barty is his wife or his husband. He's the wife.
Well, no, Flip Wilson is the son and the wife.
Oh, that was Harvey. Oh,
yes.
Oh my God.
Flip Wilson's the black guy. Billy Barty's the
So
real
I'm really
person.
face blind, and I just assumed they were different people.
No. Billy Barty is
great.
like
I'm doing great.
Mad Max Fury, Mad Max Beyond Thought. Oh no!
Well,
let's turn it back on.
can
Mad
see us
Max
again.
Beyond.
Wait, that was the same fucking guy?
Yeah. Yeah, Flip Wilson was the wife
I'm
and the
really
son.
face blind.
I know.
Like,
it's all right. Flip Wilson was like a very famous comedian in the 70s who did drag, you know. Billy Barty is obviously from Dracula vs. Frankenstein. He did a lot of vaudeville stuff. There's a very vaudeville element to this movie, but he's also in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. He's like, he has the mind of a child. He's with Master Blaster, and then when Master Blaster's helmet comes off, he has Down syndrome. You ever saw Beyond Thunderdome?
Maybe not. I thought I did, and then that didn't sound familiar.
Tina Turner is in the movie, and
I don't know what she looks like.
You don't know what Tina Turner looks like?
I don't think so. Hold on. Wait, no, hold on. It's the one lady. Hold on. That
she
was
just
so
died
descriptive.
last year.
Yes! Oh my God, I do know her. Never mind. I know
The
what she looks like.
gypsy,
Yeah.
the acid queen from
What?
Tommy, the Who's Tommy. She's the prostitute that they take Tommy to.
Okay. I don't listen to the Who very much.
I know, but
so.
they made a movie.
That's a movie,
based
not
on
a
their
music
rock
video.
opera.
Okay.
Yeah, because Elton John plays. I
know things.
You know, he's a pinball wizard.
Yes.
You know,
yeah. I know pinball.
Okay, yeah. Elton John sings that part, and
okay.
And there's a whole church dedicated to Marilyn Monroe that Pete Townsend is the guitar player at, and it's we should watch that one.
We should.
Have you ever seen Pink Floyd's The Wall?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you have seen that one. Our review couldn't be any more cringe than the Cinema Snobs. Like, so.
I was about to say our review is just as non sequitur as the movie itself.
Pretty much, yeah.
What did you say when we were walking out? You were like, "This doesn't let plot get in. This movie doesn't let the plot get in the way of
the roller skating."
Of the roller skating, yeah, that was pretty accurate.
Yeah, so they're there.
I still don't know what was going on with the guys behind the counter with the pizza. Don't understand any of that. Because at first I thought they were just fucking around with each other, and then it like pans and there's like a whole bunch of people at the counter. Yeah. So they're performing for them, I guess. I don't know.
Nobody knows. Nobody, because the girl who's like the girl of his dreams that he skates with only has one line of dialogue in the whole fucking movie. And you could tell also from her, she's beautiful, but you could tell that she has like coke bloat in her face as well a little bit. And I was just like, all right, everybody's coked out. Ron Palillo, who's Horshack, who also brought Jason back to life in part 6. Friday the 13th. He's dressed like he's a fucking background extra in Cruisin', you know? It's such a terrible movie, but there's something...
It was deeply entertaining, though, because, like, there's enough plot that you're following it, but there's also not enough plot that there's like a
To
conclusion.
be a movie.
Yeah, so it's just like a whole bunch of plots. I mean, you're right. It's a bunch of vignettes, right?
Mhm.
And they're all taking place in the same place. So you're like, okay, this is all happening. I couldn't have cared less about the main plot. I'm not gonna lie. The dance competitions, I cared very little about those.
Yeah,
I did not care who won. I had no interest in Stan or Ace. Aside, I mean, yes, obviously.
Okay, so that was
Yeah, I walk in, so he comes out to get me because I'm late, right? He comes out to get me. I'm like, hey, I gotta pee real bad. So, and then I'm like, hey, I gotta charge my phone because I'm just the neediest, okay? But, so we walk in, and one of the first things he says when we sit down is, he's like, yeah, this is Patrick Swayze's first movie, and he's, like, too gorgeous. And I'm like,
he's too beautiful.
And then he's like to exist. And then you point him out, and I'm like, yeah, all right, that's fair. He is very pretty. But you're like, this shouldn't be allowed. And I'm
It's
like,
not fair.
What's happening?
It's not fair at all. Like,
he fucking starts when he does his dance routine. Both of his dance routines involve his belt,
which is it's very belt centric.
Very belt centric.
Yeah. So Patrick. So the movie starts with all the lights turning on in the place, and the wizard like starts pointing at things, and like lightning comes out of his hands, and then all of a sudden like dance routines start, and you get like Earth, Wind, and Fire music and shit like that. But then like Scott Baio is telling hunky Han Solo or Luke Skywalker, like, oh, we're gonna win this prize and blah blah blah, and Marsha Brady was like, I'm in love, and they're like, with who? And she's like, all those guys over there, and all these guys hug, and she's like, my sister's boy crazy. He's like, what if I was girl crazy? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh no, like that. They've drawn a line in the sand.
Yeah, they said no.
But so they show like what's going on in the thing, and like there's like this dumb blonde girl at the thing with big boobs, and Billy Barty's up there talking to her about like women's like suffrage and stuff like that, to like make her think that he's a feminist, so that he could like bang other chicks and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden outside on the pier, like the police line bursts through, and fucking Patrick Swayze and his crew roll up. Now they're wearing skin tight pleather pants, purple
like vest.
No,
there was like an under
purple undershirts with like black, like it's like a wife beater kind of deal, but it's like purple,
like a vest,
and then the vest on top of it. But they're like knocking people over. They get into the rink and they do a well choreographed dance, and it just ends with Patrick Swayze like brushing his hair back and like a close up, and you're like, all right, I get it, I understand,
You're like, all right, that's fair. He's pretty.
Yeah, too pretty,
Too pretty.
And then periodically there's a story, but more so it just cuts to like things going on.
Yes. Which lent a very weird tone to the movie in general, and not just the fact that it was so disjointed, but like, so like all the side vignettes, for lack of a better word, like felt like they would be not in an adult movie in a sexual sense, although yes, there was like a lot of implied fucking, but like, it just like, and then it would cut to like, it would cut back to the main plot, and that felt like not young adult novel, but you know what I mean, right? Like a teenager's movie.
Well, yeah, because
it'd be like, I challenge you to a dance, or no, to the fucking race, to see who's number one in the town. I'm like, that's such a high school.
There's
fucking
itching powder in it, which is like something a child would think of,
right? Like the main plot is so juvenile, is the word I'm looking for. The main plot is very juvenile,
the rapper,
and then
juvenile.
What? And then it cuts to the side plots that are like,
there's drugs in the pizza.
There's drugs in the pizza, and one of them starts having like a Nam flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he like stabs this guy in the ass with a syringe. Where did he get the syringe?
And then it's
Nobody
knows.
Knows.
That guy and his wife are newlyweds.
Yeah, on honeymoon.
Who were on a dating show or on a game show, and they're there for that. But then
they're both being seduced by other people.
Yes. He falls into like two girls who are playing video games.
Yeah.
And then the wife gets like taken by like a black dude who just
what was his name? Was it like
it was Bruce?
No, Donald. It was Donald. Because he gave the comb.
Where'd you get that comb? Donald gave it to me. Yeah. And then the other girl goes by and he just goes with her.
Yeah, at first, he's all like getting jealous, and then like the chick comes by and like taps him on the shoulder. The one he fell into at the games, who kissed him. Who like lifted him up and kissed him, and I was like, ha, relatable.
But then like Ruth Buzzy is in the movie with the fucking dude from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Their story is never resolved. They're there to like shut down Skate Town, USA.
Oh my god! And then we just keep cutting back to them eating more pizza,
and then they're just gone.
And there's like plates of like literally, it's just like pizza pan on top of pizza pan on top of pizza pan because they're drugged.
But they're just gone. There's never any resolution to that plot.
They just ate pizza until they were satisfied and left, I guess.
And then there's like the drunk guy who gives the cook drugs, and it was before you got there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
He's drinking out of a flask.
By the time I arrived, the pizza's already been drugged.
He's drinking out of a flask, and they're like, "What's in there?" He's like, "Oh, it's water." And then he smells it. He goes, "Whiskey." He's, "Oh my god!" He goes, "It's holy water." And he sniffs it, and he goes, "It's whiskey." And he goes, "Oh, it's a miracle."
I've definitely, as we were watching that, there were a lot of quotes that I've heard people say, and I didn't know it was from Skate. It probably.
I don't think it was, because I don't think anybody knows this fucking movie exists.
Okay, well, at least because that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 of the other jokes sound familiar.
I guess it's
like,
vaudeville jokes. It's just a lot.
Okay,
this movie
fair
was
enough.
clearly, because even the old man who's with Dorothy Stratton,
Yeah.
he's quoting like vaudeville gags.
Okay.
Because in the credits it's listed as the comedians,
Right.
the bands. Like,
Oh yeah. I
this
get you.
movie was clearly made by like a producer who was just like, I have these things. Just make the movie around these things. Nick Castle wrote
sure
the
did.
movie. You know, it's so bizarre that
But it was
exists.
so fun.
It
Like
was.
I genuinely had a good time.
So you
watching
have this, you have Roller Boogie, which is with
Okay.
Linda Blair and Jim Bray. That one is basically it's Love on Wheels, as the
Okay.
tagline said. You have Xanadu, which is I love Xanadu, but there's this weird era of trying to get whatever you can out of the disco era and out of the roller skating era before it passes.
Before it dies, yeah.
And this movie is such a bizarre... Like, the jokes that Flip Wilson tells are so that era of the 1970s that when the movie came out, like, you know, there's
were
a
already
Gerald
dated.
Ford joke in there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you're just like, okay, well, by the time the movie came out, like, that had passed.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, there's... and then it ends with... So, Ace threatens Billy Barty and Flip Wilson
Yes.
into he has to win the thing.
Yes.
So they're scared to say no to him.
But then, like, they sort of do.
They
Because
give-
that's what prompted the race. They give him the singles competition
Yeah.
award,
and he's not that
and
good.
they give somebody else. He had a belt though.
He did have a belt. You're right.
And
You
then
know
they
what? I
give
stand corrected.
they give the doubles award to like his rival or whatever.
Because his sister gets taken out by Ron Palillo
Yeah,
to...
who's playing Ace's friend, who's like sabotaging everybody else.
Yeah, because they put itching powder in the Loco Banditos.
Pistol Pete.
Pistol Pete, Loco Bandito. In his thing. He's in the thing like shooting a gun.
Yeah,
You know?
I was very much like, I don't know about that. Like, yeah, I know it's the 70s, but
Yeah.
like discharging a gun indoors seems unwise.
Now you have to
particularly,
be at a
it was very stressful watching him like scratch his back with the gun. I'm like, you're gonna fucking shoot somebody in the crowd. Like, I could see that happening.
Nowadays, you could only do that at a school or
Right.
a
movie theater.
a movie theater, or like a
mall.
church, a mall. You know that's acceptable there. Actually, no, it's not, because
It
he was
isn't
Hispanic. You could only be white and get
Was he
away with that.
Hispanic? I thought he
Well,
was
I think he was
white.
playing
Yeah,
Hispanic. You know,
that was
but
and they were shining lights in one guy's eyes, and that
Oh.
stressed me out because they like pointed the light at the camera and it hurt real bad.
oh yeah, Uncle Sam,
Yeah.
and then our hero.
Sorry, I'm kind of watching my car because we're parked near it, and
Mm.
my parking is up.
That's alright. They're not gonna do anything when you're right here.
They fucking better not.
We'll get out. We'll film it as we like beat up some cops.
That'd be fun.
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Yeah, no, so
Phoenixville.
yeah, in Phoenixville. Yeah, no, I love the just general tone of this movie. Is so bizarre and so slapdashed.
Yes.
I love, Dave.
Okay, sorry. So, like, when we were talking about the award ceremony,
Yeah.
right? They have this gag that I cannot figure out the point of because it doesn't matter, right? So
Nothing in this movie
no,
matters.
I know, but like, so, like, all right, they're doing the awards, right? And Flip's one character is like, "Hey, we're giving this award to Ace,"
Yeah.
right? And then his dad comes up, and clearly there's an extra microphone of some sort.
Yeah.
So the gag is, they think they're whispering to each other, but we can hear them.
Mhm.
But it doesn't affect anything.
No.
Because it's just like, hey, we're going to make this fair and square, right? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, he comes back to the regular mic and he's like, all right, so you're going to introduce the next one. But, like, us over, like, the crowd overhearing that doesn't matter.
No,
I don't know.
exactly.
Like, it was just really odd.
You're asking a lot of questions, and this movie has no
answer.
No, this movie was,
None.
the producers of this movie were face down in a fucking pile of cocaine.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
if I
whatever.
time traveled back to them and I, like, tapped them on the shoulder and I'd be like, hey, what was the point of this gag? They'd be like,
Point?
Point?
I could see time and space as one.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. There was.
I'm not gagging. I'm breathing normally into this cocaine pile.
Yeah, exactly. I breathe cocaine at this point now. But it's like, they had certain bands, they had certain, you know, and
Yeah, the
again,
music was solid.
soundtrack was incredible. You know, and I love the look of the skate town. I love the way it looked on the inside, all the neon and stuff like that. The skating was really good. I
don't know if it was intentional, but it had the casino vibe of we don't know what time it is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no matter, I don't know how long the movie took place over. I don't think the people
I
making
don't think
it
anyone
knew.
involved knew, yeah.
Because all I know is the climax happens at night, as it often does.
Yes.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. So,
I try to climax during the day, too.
because, like, the race on the pier, it's dark
Oh, yeah, we have to
outside.
get to the race at the pier.
Yeah, so, like, obviously at some point it's nighttime, right? But how long has it been going on? We've had a comedy act, we've had, like, 2 musicals, we've had, like, multiple skating, like, not only skating competitions, but, like, enough time to plan sabotaging for the skating competitions. I don't, like, the time frame of this movie is super weird.
They never explained the green light that the doctor is seeing.
Ah, that actually felt explained. He's hallucinating that. From the drugs.
Yeah, but it was in the scenes with other actors as well.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they saw it,
I
right?
don't know.
I don't know. That's the one thing that made sense to me, I guess.
But yeah, so
I'm so stressed out.
that's all right. Yeah, they're next to us. I mean, we'll invite them in to be part of the review
That's
if they
fine.
want.
But,
So yeah, each of them win one of the contests. So they're gonna decide.
So yeah, then Ace challenge. Yeah, Ace was like he pointed at Stan, the other guy.
Stan.
And, yeah, his
That's
rival.
his name.
Yeah, and
Hunky Luke Skywalker.
yes, who
He had fish lips. You ever noticed like dudes like that? Like he's a really good looking dude, but like in a weird like way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
I'm so tired.
They each won a contest.
Yeah, they each won. Yeah. So then Ace is like furious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, here's the other thing, right? So initially Stan was supposed to be dancing with his sister, but obviously we referenced she was seduced away.
Mm-hmm.
But
by
then they didn't.
Horseshack.
But then they didn't. Fuck! They just ate pizza. Like they ate more of the drugged pizza.
To be fair, that could be a very like
I'm sure it is.
like in Swamp Thing, like they can't have sex, so he gives her like a piece of him, which is like a hallucinogenic. So like transcendently, they have sex. Their bodies meld in a transcendent kind of way.
Relatable.
So maybe that is with the pizza, you know?
Yes. But one way or another, she is not present.
No.
But they've introduced, his sister Susan. So then this chick who's very clearly romantically interested in him, or at the very least sexually interested in him, rolls up, and I'm like, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss.
Because they're on skates.
Yes. But she's with Ace. I don't know to what extent. Initially, she was with his little posse.
Yeah, but
and
she
then
wants
she
to
was
get
like,
away from him.
Yeah, she was like, I don't enjoy this. And then she was watching Stan do his singles run, and she was like biting her lip. So like, obviously,
and he's really good too. Like he fucking
rollerbladed on a skateboard.
Yeah, he rollerbladed on a skateboard.
It was fucking nuts. But so she takes the place of his sister. That's why I was starting to be like, don't kiss, don't kiss, don't kiss. I was happy with them having
it did again.
I was happy with them having a romantic and or sexual relationship, but I did not want that to occur around people who thought that they were related. I'm digressing.
To be fair, when I used to run the Morristown Mall movie theater, we used to go to this diner after we would close, and I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and I used to tell the waitress that she and I were brother and sister, and then we would just start kissing. one time they asked her what she wanted. I said, "Oh, nothing for her. She's being punished."
It's amazing. But yeah, so thankfully he does not kiss her in the course of
until
dancing with
after
her.
the fact.
Yeah. Which nobody reacts weirdly. I'm not gonna lie, that did surprise me.
They're like, I'm on so much cocaine right now.
Yeah, that's fair. They don't even know who either of them are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Ace is like raging at her because he didn't know she was gonna do that, obviously. And you know, so then it was like, well, in order to really know who's number one, like, we race down the pier or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fine, if you win, you get both trophies, but if I win, you leave Allison alone, which I guess was the lady who left Ace. So then there's not really a winner. The guy who seduced Susan or whatever is like, you know, blitzed off his tits or whatever.
Yeah.
He's fucking so high, but he
higher than pterodactyl titties.
yeah, he I guess.
Oh.
Can I help
There
you?
you go.
He sabotages both brakes,
Yeah.
I guess, like both people's brakes, so they just both plunge into the ocean, and Ace can't swim. And so Stan saves him, and you're like, this is normal.
Yeah.
And then, like, the Stan just drops, like, oh, well, because I'm the hero.
Well, because he's like, I don't get it. Like,
yeah, why did you save me? I just tried to kill you or whatever.
He's like, because I'm the hero. And I was like, that's...
Do you see what I mean? How, like, the main plot is so juvenile?
like a child wrote it, you know? But
like, oh, I'm the hero. Of course I saved your life.
It, you know?
But then, like, that's the main
friends.
plot. The rest of the other plots are wild.
We never find out about Flip Wilson's wife. Him as his mother. Because she's like, you're too much man.
Oh
for
yeah,
one woman.
she found out, I guess, that he was like going
Cheating,
for the women. Yeah, and she was like, you know, I understand you're too much man for one woman.
But he's a
like,
whole
oh
person.
hell yeah. Oh well, yes,
Yeah.
that. And he's like, oh yeah, nice. And then she's like, and I understand because I'm too much woman for one man.
Yeah.
He's like devastated. And I'm like, no, you cannot do both. It's got to go both ways. You can't be a fucking hypocrite about this.
We never find out more about, like, there's no repercussions to the drugs and the pizza.
Oh yeah,
There's no...
particularly the fact that we're fed to people who are actively stated trying to get the place shut down.
Yeah. There's no.
We never see Susan again.
We never see Susan again. Yeah, she's just gone. Because Ron Palillo came back. He just left her there. Because I like when she's like, "This is a really nice car." He's like, "Yeah, it sure is. I wonder who it belongs to."
Oh my god. No, this movie was great.
I genuinely enjoyed this movie. It is so bad. And I just saying, like, years ago I wrote a script after I saw this movie for the first time called Skatesylvania, and it was a roller disco at Dracula's private roller disco that's in his castle. And it's just full of, like, little gags like this. And
it's 2:04. All the bars are shutting down. That's why.
All right, that's why everybody's coming out.
Experiencing an influx of humans.
Mm-hmm. But no, this was fun. I'm glad this screened tonight. I'm glad I had a chance to show you this weird fucking movie.
I was so on the fence because my phone was literally, when I was deciding, it was at like 19%. By the time I got here, it was at like 3 or 4%.
There was no place to plug it in until we got to the bar after we left.
I've been awake since like 8:30 in the morning, and I've been doing stuff all day, and I was literally so on the fence about coming, and then you were like, yeah, you won't miss anything, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll go. And I had a very good time, and I'm glad I came out.
Because, again...
And I knew I would. That's why I was like, no, I'm fucking going.
It's the aesthetic. Forget the story.
Yeah.
It's this weird fucking time capsule of these weird TV actors and celebrities who are only known in this one little piece of time. This really cool music. Like, again, I go back to Dave Mason. I was saying to you, like, there was a time when a dude who looked like Eliza Koteas could be like a hunk.
A sex symbol,
yeah, and it's just like, good for fucking them, man, you know? And I love roller skating, and I love 70s, like, disco era shit. I mean, as much as I love, like, hard stuff, I genuinely love disco, and I genuinely love that whole vibe of it.
I've been experiencing some interesting disco lately. Specifically, there's a wrestler whose theme was disco.
Okay.
Disco Inferno. And
I know who that is.
Yeah. He looks exactly like this kid in Food and Bev at my workplace, so I just keep calling him Asher. I don't know Disco Inferno's real name. It's definitely not Asher.
No.
But he looks exactly like this kid, but like 25.
Okay.
instead of 18, or like 30 instead of somewhere around there. I don't know how old this Inferno was in 1995, but like, yeah, I just Disco Asher. That's like all I can think about.
But again, there's just, this weird era of film where
all the guys had the same haircut. It was interesting.
Yeah, and then like there's scenes where there's like conversation going on in the foreground where like fucking hunky Luke Skywalker and Scott Baio are having a conversation, and then there's just a dude in the background doing Tai Chi. Like
I forgot about him. Yeah, because like everybody is on roller skates in this movie.
And drugs.
Well, yes,
everyone is on drugs.
We've established the drugs. But everyone's on roller skates, including like not the people participating in the competition or whatever, right? And so there's just a dude in the background, like on a platform, and he's just like holding something.
Yeah.
I forget if he was like eating or like smoking something. He's holding something, and he's just like doing like
Tai Chi. And then there's just a bunch of dudes
on like a glass platform.
There's a bunch of like shirtless dudes wearing rainbow suspenders as well in the movie. Everyone's got mustaches or like crazy hair, and it's just it was a time, and they had it, man. But there's just like there was this weird era of like this Roller Boogie with Linda Blair, which Cher did a song for, Xanadu, which I fucking absolutely love, with Olivia Newton-John, and then you have like Nocturna. Oh shit, Nocturna was like Dracula's like disco daughter.
Okay,
it's so bad, and Brother Theodore does the narration for it. Oh my god, Nocturne is terrible. But like there's just something about that era of film, and again, I didn't know this movie even fucking existed until 2013. Oh, really? And it's weird to think that there's so many people in it who I know from other things, and I was like, what is this movie? And here it is, and we saw it, and our lives are better for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm absolutely gonna wake up and forget that I watched this.
Yeah, you're gonna watch this video and be like, is that a thing that we saw?
Be like, no, not forget that I watched it and be like, I dreamt that. I'm gonna legitimately be like, that my brain came up with that. I don't know why, because I don't listen to disco.
No, exactly. Or roller skate, apparently.
I haven't roller skated.
If the channel ever got popular, which it's never gonna do, I wish we could do a like schlock and all roller skating night. That would be fucking awesome. I literally like I think about it all the time because my friend Christiane was getting into roller derby for a while, and she's like this 7 foot tall person, and that was funny. I was looking back at old Facebook memories, and this one girl, I did a show in 2018 at Tattooed Moms in Philadelphia, and I showed a bunch of stuff that I had shot, and the last thing we had shot before that night was the thing at the camp where I had 2 of our former employees as mummies in a lake.
Oh, yeah.
With my friend Jeanette. And Jeanette was the male girl, if you had the Patreon for the old channel. And then Fallon was pregnant at the time, and Christy, who passed, was our makeup effects person, did the slashes on her back. So I have like those people in it, but then I also shot with Christiane, who is a 7 foot tall, at the time, like 400-pound trans woman. Okay. And this girl like attacked me online and saying I only shoot with people who have specific body types, and I was just like,
that's silly.
What are you talking about? Like, I was like, the girl who worked for us who was in the lake was like built like a little boy. You have Fallon, who's pregnant. You have Christy, you have a 7 foot tall trans person. I'm like, I think we fucking ran the gamut. We were on the spectrum of body types. Yeah. But I was like, whatever, fuck you, man. But we need to do like roller skating one night. I think that would be really fun.
I would totally love to do that.
So yeah, that's this week's What the Fuck Wednesday, shot on a Saturday. And it was for Skate Town, USA. Yep. Our roller disco with beautiful Patrick Swayze and yep. I got nothing else. All right, go home and go to sleep.
Okay, I'll try.
Bye.
Bye.